Hello. Welcome to question 5, which is one of your homework problem. And I just want to take you through quickly on how you can address this question. Now, remember, this question or this is a evaluation problem, and we covered part of this in our previous chapter when we were looking at evaluation of bonds. Now, from what you know, or from what you've been given here is a coupon rate of 9%, and the duration of this bond is 15 years. But we've been told the current yield to maturity is 6%, and these bonds have a callable feature. And if these bonds are going to be recalled, then the call price is 1,220. Again, from what we have done in the past, the way we value an instrument is basically determining the present value of the expected cash flows. So for a bond, again, if I just draw a timeline here, just to demonstrate this. So we're talking of time 0, 1 year, 2 years, and all the way to 15 years. So we need to determine our cash flow, and then we also need to determine other variables. So now remember, this bond is paying interest every 6 months. So every 6 months, it pays interest every 6 months all the way to year 15. So the question is, how much is the cash flow? So there are two cash flows with the bond. There's one cash flow that's due at maturity, and there's another cash flow which is basically the interest payment. So the cash flow that is due at maturity is always the face value of the bond, which is $1,000. But this bond is also promising some kind of annuities every 6 months. This bond is promising to pay you 9% of the face value. And the 9% of 1,000, so 9% of 1,000 is $90. So it's promising to pay you $90 per year. But again, remember the key is this bond is not paying you interest every year. It's paying you interest every 6 months. So we have 2 periods per year. So it pays you $90 a year. Divide this with the 2, and this bond is paying you $45 per period. So $45 every 6 months. The other way to determine that 45 will be, this is a 9% coupon rate per year, and therefore per period it's 4.5% per period in terms of the coupon rate. So if you take the 4.5% times 1,000, this will still give you the 45. Now, key idea takeaway: when it comes to determining the cash flow, we use the coupon rate to determine the cash flow. Now, in terms of the other variable, and that is the total number of periods, will be you take how many periods we have per year times 15, and this will give you a total periods of 30 years. Now, in terms of discounting the cash flow, we are going to discount the cash flow using the yield to maturity per period. Now, in this example, we've been given 6% is our yield to maturity, and that is per year, and therefore we have 2 periods per year. So in terms of our current rate per period is going to be 3%. So we're going to use the 3% to discount the cash flows. So to determine the value of this instrument, which is the present value of the future cash flows, we determine the present value of the annuities, that is the $45 each period over 15 years, and we also determine the present value of the uh, $1,000, which is the first value. So, and that will be the $1,000. You sum those together, that will give you the present value of the instrument. So I'm going to show you how you determine the present value using Excel. So if you go into Excel and you type in equal to present value and just follow the prompts, right? So we need to key in the rate. We know that again, we're discounting the cash flow using the yield to maturity per period. In this example will be 3%. And then the number of periods, we have a total of 30 periods, and the payment is you're paying $45 every 6 months. Again, if you're the borrower, and then at maturity, you will also give up $1,000. And we're assuming all these payments are occurring at the end of the period. So by default, it's zero, right? So you enter, and this gives you a present value of 1,294. So then to address the second part, you just have to compare the 1,294, that is the current price or the value of the instrument, to what the callable price is. So the callable price is 1,220, which is again lower than the 1,294. So do you then think these bonds will sell for the price that you arrived at? Do you think these bonds will sell for 1,294? Again, the answer is going to be no, because you could buy other bonds in the market for 1,220, right? So given that, if you're the borrower, you rather take the 1,220 than the 1,294 as computed here. So I hope this information helps, and let me know if you have any other question.